Hi guys! So today I figured I could do a look using only the Infinity Deep palette. I want to try it on its own and see how much I can do with it. So now I've only done my foundation and I'll be going into the Infinity Deep palette and see if I can use that as a bronzer and blush and everything. So yeah, let's dive in. So as I mentioned, I've done my foundation. I have a separate video on how I do my base, or usually do my base. Obviously now I'll be changing out the normal bronzer I use with the Infinity Deep palette. So you can check that out if you'd like. I also have a separate one for brows. And before I get started, I'm actually trying out a new foundation. I really like it so far. I'm trying out the Clarins Skin Illusion. I think it's a bit too dark for me. I have the lightest shade, but it's a tad bit dark. I'm trying to kind of modify it a bit so that it suits me a bit better, because I like the way it looks on my skin so much and I struggle so much to find foundations that I like. And this is just jackpot for me in terms of how it sits on the skin. The only bad thing is that the color isn't that right. But anyway, I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. Maybe I'll do a video on it later on. But except for changing out my foundation and obviously now going in with the Infinity palette, I've done my base as I normally do it. So yeah, I'm going to dive into the Infinity Deep palette. So to try and create a bronzer, I figured I could mix Umbra and Lightyear. Umbra is obviously way too dark for me as a bronzer, but I figured if I mixed them a bit, maybe I could kind of make my own shade. So I'm just tapping it on. That works. So overall, I would say that this really works as a bronzer. I've mixed Lightyear and Umbra. Mostly I've used Lightyear, and yeah, it really works. I'll be using a different blush though, just because a lot of these colors here are a bit too dark for blushes, or for my skin at least, and so I want to do something else. And I'll actually be doing a different highlighter as well, as these shades are way too dark as highlighter for me. So then I'll just be doing my blush and my highlighter the way I usually do it, and I'll be back. So now I'll be continuing to the eyes, and I want to do something really warm and summery and quite simple. So I'll be going into Lightyear with a fluffy blending brush, small one, the one that I prefer, the 221 by MAC. And I'll be working that into the socket. And I'm just placing it with the fluffy brush closer on the lid, and then I work the edges out. This is a lovely like transition shade, or a shade that you can use if you just want a softer look. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, and I'll be back. So I've blown this quite far out because this is a very soft shade. I'm not really worried about taking it quite far up. So now I'll be going into Umbra with the same brush. I'm just dabbing that in the outer corner. I'm blending it a bit outwards, but not as far out as we did with the other color, the Lightyear color. Just to add a little bit more depth. Kind of like this. And then I'll be doing the same thing on the other eye. So now that I've gotten the depth that I wanted, I'm going to go in with Umbra underneath as well, with the same brush. And I'm taking a cleaner brush and going into Lightyear, blowing that out a bit further. I'm kind of connecting it to the top. So I want it like really smoked out all around the eye. And then I'm just going to take Umbra on a tinier, stiffer brush just to get a little more intensity just by the lashes. So now that I'm happy with how this is looking, I want to go in with Polar Star just to get some shine on the lid. So I'll just be using my finger and then tapping this on. That is a pretty color. That is really nice. This is the kind of shade you can just pop on your entire lid even when not wearing a lot of other eyeshadows. And it will just give this really nice shine and glow to the skin or to the lid. And it just works so well on its own. But it also works really well together with other things. Don't underestimate a pretty basic shadow. Those are important. And I'm popping that in the inner corner too. And then I'm going to take the blending brush we used up for Umbra just to blend the edges a little bit. So I'm really liking how this is looking. I really like these colors combined. They can work for anyone. And now I just want to put on a bit of mascara. So now I'll be going in with the mascara. And I'm going to use mascara that I just always underestimate. And it's more of a natural defining mascara, but it holds really well and it just really defines the lashes really nicely. So I'll be going in with Extended Play by MAC. This just hugs the lashes really nicely and you can really feel it separating the lashes. And it's just a tiny brush, so it's so easy to get into the root. So mascara is done and I'm going to go in with a bit of highlighter for under the brow bone. I think I'm actually going to attempt to use the Pearl Cream Color Base by MAC that I used as a highlighter. And I'll be using a stiffer brush. Normally I would just use my finger, but right now I've blended the color so far up. I'm kind of worried that I'll mess it up if I don't use anything more precise. So I'll be going in with this and then just tapping that underneath. That worked, and so now I'm going to put on a bit more blush because I feel like it kind of disappears after putting on the eyes. It just kind of doesn't show up that much anymore. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit more of this on. This is more of like a pinky peach, and I just really love having like really warm eyes and then a more cool blush or a cool lipstick. And so for the lips, I want to keep it more pink and more natural, so I'll be going in again with my tried and true Cream Cup by MAC. So this is it, guys. I just wanted to show you how you could do something really simple and fresh. It doesn't take a lot of time to do, and I've only used 3 shades for the eyes. I just really enjoy doing looks like these because they work with a lot of occasions. Like you can do this for every day, or you could, for example, change out the neutral lip with something more bold, like a red lip or something, and it could work for a party. So you can use these types of looks for a lot of things. So yeah, that's basically it. So this is the look done. So if there's anything you want to know, if you want to know what I've used, everything will be listed in the description box below. If there's anything else you would like to ask me, please don't hesitate to ask. And I hope I see you next time. Bye!